Hello, my monstrosities. Hello once again. Today I'll bring to you a Khorne Legion that isn't getting something new right now. In fact, there were some new things, and I think none of us decided to circle back to Blood Legion because everybody had in their minds that this was not great. And, funny enough, the one that everybody thought was the worst with Scintillating Legion has still done better with Blood than Blood Legion. And the other thing, Shadow Legion. Shadow Legion has released, and everybody would probably tell you that it is now the best detachment to play Khorne things, Khorne demons that is, than the Khorne demon detachment. Now, I'm not here to say that that's not accurate, but I would at least like to make a video talking about the Khorne Demons detachment and see if anything, now that they've had changes, especially that they've had changes, is worth bringing this out. And first, I want to address this. You always got to do. You should try to do some amount of research, but I'm like, man, crazy we haven't seen Blood Legion. We actually did see one person 3 months ago pull out Blood Legion and get second place over here. We got Marco. Cornflakes, love it. Bloodmaster, Bloodthirster, two Renmasters, Skull Taker, Blue Scribes, Bloodletters, Nurglings, Plague Bearers, Blood Crushers, Flesh Hounds before they got what they got now, and Seekers before they are what they are now too. Um, so it was possible when it was worse. So I want to talk about it now that the things in it should be better. So let's start off with the detachment rule. Murder call. Each time an enemy unit, excluding aircraft, ends a normal or advanced move within 6 inches of one or more Khorne demon units from your army. One of those units can make a surge move towards that enemy unit. To do so, roll 1d6. Models in your unit move a number of inches up to the result, but you must end as close as possible to the enemy. When doing so, they can be moved within engagement range. A unit cannot make a surge move while it is within engagement range. Alright, and we also have Blood Tainted. And this is the one that I think that people definitely are overlooking. At the end of a phase in which a Khorne demon unit from your army destroyed an enemy unit that was within range of an objective marker at the start of the phase, if your unit has a higher level of control over that objective marker remains under your control until your opponent's level of control over that objective marker is greater than yours at the end of a phase. So, check for control levels and a phase, beat somebody off the point and then continue going into them. And here's the thing with Murder Call, that was a bit weird. Everybody acts like you'll never be around your opponent. That was the main thing that was very odd to me. When it first dropped, everybody's like, "Oh, I'll just never go around them, and then I'll never be within 6." And it's like, okay, so none. Yeah, everybody's just a shooting army now, right? Nobody ever has a melee unit in their army where this is going to be a problem. None of that. Absolutely, that was absolutely goofy. But neither here nor there. I guess now, but yeah, let's not act like you can just completely avoid interaction with Blood Legion if people decide to do this. Now, uh, let's be honest with ourselves, it's not as good as every Khorne unit getting access to advance and charge, but you can get access to advance and charge still here. The enhancements, for the most part, I feel they're whatever. The one that I do want to talk about is Slaughter Thirst, the aura into which it goes on a Khorne model, while a friendly Khorne unit, excluding monsters, is within 6 inches of the bearer. They get lance for 35 points. Uh, Slap that on a Rent Master more than likely. The other ones, I don't necessarily see their value, but I could see you putting Brazen Maw on a Bloodthirster to make that charge +2. Because here's the thing, right? You have Blood Begets Skulls, into which your charge phase until the end of phase, your unit is eligible to declare a charge and turn at which it advanced. You want advance and charge, you have it for 1 CP. Again, you could get it for free in Shadow Legion. I understand that. Here's the other thing that you have here, though. Gore Hungry Onslaught, your movement phase or your charge phase. One Legion's Demonica Khorne unit from your army until the end of the phase. Each time a model in your unit makes a move, it can move through terrain features. So, uh, your Bloodthirster that has access to advance and charge has access to just going through the wall. And that's not the hey now we should watch out for this thing that I want to talk about too much. I should also note that there's a 1 CP fight on death for Khorne. Like, that's decent enough. Now, you're really only going to apply that to Bloodletters, and we'll talk about them in a second too. But, man, I'm not saying that this is good. I'm saying it's better than we probably gave it credit for. Especially when we combine something like Scarbrand getting a bit of a glow up. Now, while a friendly Khorne demon unit is within 6 inches of his model, add 1 to the attached characteristics of melee weapons equipped by models in that unit. Now, I could have sworn that that was. No, the Bloodthirster was the one that had the caveat, right? One of them had the caveat that it didn't apply to somebody. Either way, that's not the part about Scarbrand that's amazing. Murder Lust. Instead of that weird, like, can't disengage fallback thingy, this unit is eligible to declare charge and turn at which advance. So, you have Scarbrand, right? Go through a wall, advance and charge for free. You have your Bloodthirster, 305 points, equal points, by the way. You have your Bloodthirster, not go through a wall, advance and charge. That's 2 advancing and charging into your opponent's face. Not for free, that is 2 CP if you do exactly that. But the fact that you have access to Scarbrand and or a Bloodthirster going through a wall to go punch your opponent when they thought they were safe, and we're looking at movement 10, movement 12 on the Bloodthirster, right? I think it's worth thinking about here. Now, again, Advance and Charge is free in Shadow Legion. I got that. The other thing, though, is mission play. If you don't own CSM, the Codex CSM, right, and you aren't trying to use Havocs to help you gain objective control, your Bloodthirster, maybe some Bloodletters, maybe, right, beats the brakes off of somebody that is standing on objective. And now it's sticky, and you get to continue, you get to walk off of that point and go continue to beat your opponent's face in. Especially if they try to come back to that objective to try to take control of it, because again, I don't know how we just thought that we were just going to avoid this rule overall. It's stickied, your opponent comes closer, you now get to murder call into their face, more or less, right? It's D6, there will be times where you roll a 1. But your opponent is going to try to get onto the point, especially after you have taken control of that point. I think we're kind of just over. This one isn't that bad. It's really not. You still have to play the game of 40k. There will be missions, there will be secondaries, things that are asking you to be in other positions, things that are going to ask your opponent to be in other positions, and the fact that you get to kind of fuck that up for people at the drop of a hat. Yeah, there you go. There will be times where people want to do that nice little shoot and scoot. I know, I just was looking at how badly do I want gargoyles in this one list. How badly do scourges want to be in others, right? We have those units where drop down, shoot, scoot, realize, maybe not, right? There's several things that happen in the game of 40k into which you will be closer to your opponent. Now, that was 605 points and 610 points and 2 command points, right? For literally that 1 turn interaction, but that's not to say that you have to do it turn 1, that you have to do it at all, right? You don't necessarily have to go through a wall. I'm just saying that the possibility is there, especially when maybe you don't need to do it both times. Do you have 2 CP? Did you just play a little leapfrog game to keep Scarbrand safe? Did you go through one wall to another and then want to do it again? You know, all of these things makes the play a little bit more interesting. Now, again, advance in charge is something that Khorne would like to do. You still can do. Um, Grenades is whatever. The 3-up save is weird to me. Um, I still can't quite figure how much I love it. Right? Like, how much would I need to make Bloodletters a 3-up save in shooting? As like Scarbrand and Bloodthirsters already have it. So I don't know. But another thing that happened recently is that GW has lost all of my faith in them knowing what they're doing with their models. Karanak is back. Karanak is Khorne. Allow this model is leading a unit. You can reroll advanced and charge rolls made for that unit. They gave him a bit of a glow up with the next few things too. At the start of the first battle round, select one enemy unit to be this model's prey. Each time a model in this model's unit makes a melee attack that targets its prey, you can reroll the wound roll. Each time this model's prey is destroyed, select one new enemy unit to be this model's prey. Also, the brass collar is now 3-up, feel no pain against psychic attacks and mortal wounds. And the unit that Karanak attaches to, the Flesh Hounds, also has a glow up. They get uppy downy. Now, at the end of your opponent's turn, if this is not within engagement range of one or more enemy units, you can remove it from the battlefield and place it into strategic reserves. So, they get uppy downy, 75 points. We've seen people bring a shit ton of these in Shadow Legion. The fact that they get uppy downy means that they can score you points and clog up the field, especially when your opponent might move within 6 inches of a unit that you just wanted to put somewhere to score some points. And if they get clogged up by Flesh Hounds, which apparently are good enough to be brought in Shadow Legion in like units of 3, 3 units of them, I think it's worth maybe just saying, I understand, that they do indeed still get access to Advance and Charge in Shadow Legion. But I don't think you care that much about getting the Flesh Hounds into combat. Don't think you care that much. You want them to score you points and be annoying as fuck for your opponent. If that means being annoying scoring points, I think there's a world in which they are annoying scoring points and getting in the way while you play the game. And then if your opponent tries to take control from you, either put 5 more OC onto an objective before you can come with a Bloodthirster through a wall, or Scarbrand through a wall, and then sticky that objective because you pummeled your opponent. So these also got a glow up. Now, Bloodletters got a side grade? I really don't understand. I don't understand the Bloodletters too much, if I'm being honest. I'll leave that up to all of you to tell me how you feel about new Bloodletters. But, you know, the Hellblade, 2 attacks, hitting on 3s, 5-2-2. Each time an enemy unit that isn't a monster vehicle within engagement range of 1 or more units from your army with this ability falls back, models in that enemy unit must take a desperate escape test. When doing so, if that enemy unit is battle shocked, -1 to the test. So again, was it the second video? Did I make a second video of this? I know I talked about this in a Blood Legion video I've made. I don't remember if I only made 1 or if I made 2. No, I think I made its own dedicated. Either way, not about me right now. I said that you should probably look to just fill the board with shit. That was the thing where I'm like, no, if people just claim that you can just leave and never interact with it, what's stopping me from filling the board with 60 deep striking battle line Bloodletters? So now that they have this ability that it's a desperate escape test, not just stay in combat. If you want to leave from doing things with me, now it's a little bit harder. And I guess I can start to see the value of Bloodletters in this detachment a little bit better too, Because if your opponent makes the foolish mistake of getting in combat with Bloodletters, whether that be they moved too close or they actually wanted to pick up Bloodletters, and hell, maybe this is where the 3-up save comes in because they thought they were going to just shoot them away. Uh, you have Bloodletters, get into combat with your opponent. Your opponent goes, easy, I got this. You have fight on death. And you might have them attached to a Bloodmaster to give them +1 to wound. So, no matter what, their strength 5 +1 to wound has good chances of picking up more than your opponent wanted to put down. And then, if you think that you could just fall back from the Bloodletters to play the game, haha, desperate escape test. I'm saying Blood Legion might be better now. It might, well, no shit, it's better now, but it might be interesting. And that's also to say, uh, I even I continue to kind of laugh at the, oh, they gave him grenades somehow, whoa. But if you take your shitty little 110 unit, 10 models, 11 points per model unit, right? You give them grenade, inflict some mortal wounds on your opponent on your turn. Your opponent goes into them one way or another. Make it so that they can't fall back. Well, they can try, right? It's not to say that this is a guarantee. But if they fall back, it's a desperate escape test. And if they try to just wipe the squad, fight on death, again, 4-up. So, hey, it's whatever there. Honestly, I guess that would be my GW. If you could change that to a 3-up, you could have something serious going on in this detachment. At their +1 to wound, while having a bunch of shittlesticks all around the place with the Flesh Hounds who are scoring you points. This looks like a point scoring detachment with Scarbrand and the Bloodthirster hammers in the back. Or the front, actually, if you want to do that. It's starting to look a little bit more viable the more that I speak. To me. Now, if it still seems stupid to you, I can't. Nah, I'm trying. I got nothing. I don't play Khorne Demons, but I'm just saying. Past that, Skull Taker still has devastating wounds. Each time this model makes an attack that targets a character unit, you can reroll the hit roll and you can reroll the wound roll. Each time this model destroys an enemy character, you gain 1 command point. It still has that. Devastating wounds for the unit, yeah, that's pretty good and still applies to the things that I just said. Also helps in the chance that there's more command points. I don't think you should put a lot of stock into getting command points with Skull Taker, but it'll happen eventually every now and again, right? I know that happens with feeder tendrils for Matyrannage every now and again, where you're just like, huh, I guess I do get a command point here. So, Skull Taker has devastating wounds precision, and I don't know what was up with GW for a second there. They were liking, oh hey, if you are a character unit, here's a benefit, like they did with Orc Champions and the Blood Angel one. Is it Angelic Inheritors? I think there's like 1 or 2 other, like Awakened Dynasty needs leaders. Especially Awakened Dynasty is seeing play right now in the meta. And I say a lot of that was because of Mordaka and that was the pivot, but you know, it still has play in general. So with something like Awakened Dynasty being on there, maybe there's time for Blood Legion, or specifically Skull Taker, to make more list. So there's that. Renmaster on Blood Throne, I said this is the one that you probably slap the Lance aura on, and I still stick with that. Blood Throne, at the start of the fight phase, select one enemy unit within 18 inches of and visible to this model until the end of the phase. Each time a friendly Khorne Demon unit makes an attack that targets that unit, improve the strength, AP, and damage characteristic of that attack. That's pretty good. And then if you add the Lance aspect, putting +1 strength, Lance, +1 AP, plus damage, something should go pop. If it means that it happened by Bloodletters, fine, fuck it. If it happened by Skullmaster and Blood Crushers, fine, fuck it, right? Really just want to pull these up to talk about it too, because I've seen a few sprinklings of list with Shadow Legion. Now, mind you, there's a lot of people playing Shadow Legion, so we'll probably see damn near every demon unit that isn't a fortification uh, into these lists. But there was one or two that I've been like, hey, when are we going to see some blood crushes in here? And that's kind of just my overall opinion about all things Khorne. But I'm just saying, there's a world, where Skullmaster and Blood Crushers does do a little bit much more. Now, honestly, I think if that were to play GW, just drop their points a little bit, because I understand this package is expensive, right? Um, but even to then, all of that, maybe, maybe, just maybe. So I don't know. There's a world, and then finally the Skull Cannon. You have some shooting. This is probably the best shooting in Chaos Demons that isn't Zinch, right? Uh, nah, I think, well, Chariots are back. Oh, Soul Grinder, right. Anyway, Skull Cannon is decent. It's D6 plus 2, hitting on 3's 9-1-2 blast, and it causes Battle Shock test. And if there's a Battle Shock test that gets failed and somebody is a round Shadow of Chaos, guess what? That's Mortals, which means that is grenade time from your Bloodletters. So for kind of shits and gigs, yeah, that's some damage that your opponent probably wasn't looking forward to. So I think that all things considered in Khorne, Blood Legion, is it worse than Shadow Legion for Khorne units? I don't know if I'd go that far. I think Shadow Legion is just so good because of all the other components it can have that I wouldn't say that it's just strictly better for playing Khorne. But I think now that the Khorne data sheets are what they are, maybe somebody take out Blood Legion. If everybody wants to play Khorne Demons anyway, fuck it. Try Blood Legion and see if there's something here. I just think that there's a bit more mission play than people are giving. You don't really need to do like Shadow Legion has the uppy downy. I don't think you need that when you have the fucking flesh hounds that everybody's taking anyway. Uh, Now there's some other things like regenerating wounds for a bloodthirster is kind of scary, or your bloodthirster could advance and charge and then fucking explode on a 2-up for D3 plus 3 in your opponent's backline for 10 points. It could do that. It could do that. So, and honestly, because it just says to destroy one more enemy units, if you charge something shitty like a little point scoring unit and then leapfrog into your opponent's backline, 10 points through. But hey. D3 plus 3, 6-inch radius of a 120 by 92 millimeter base. Maybe that's even better than I was giving it credit for. So, I don't know. It's just kind of weird that Blood Legion got kicked to the curb, even though that was the one that we didn't say was the worst out of all of them. We being most people. Now, if somebody called it before seeing the light of Zinch, that's on me, I guess. But as the World Eaters Codex is getting released today, today, my tomorrow, your today, I think Saturday, whatever the fuck, whatever day this video goes out, Saturday. Uh, Maybe just think about Khorne loving all of his children, even though I know that's not Nurgle. So, yeah. Anyway, if you like the video, like it. Got a comment for me, comment. And until next time, peace out, my monstrosities.